Folks, good morning and welcome to FYI. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Those of you joining us on Twitter, those of you joining us on Facebook, those of you joining us on the Tube, a very good morning to each and every one of you. For your information, FYI, it's June 1st. Yep, for your information, it's my born month, folks. It's my born month. It's the first day of June. Already, believe it or not, the last month has gone by so fast. The last month has gone by so fast. How are you folks doing out there? How are you guys doing out there? We hope all is well. We hope all is well. Various places that you guys are joining us from. We see Beatrice is already here, and it comments Lauren Jones, Sukshan Sudhari is here as well. Right. Sudhari, Sukshan, Petri, Veronica Petri here as well. Guys, we're happy that you guys are here from the many places you're tuning in from. Twitter, Facebook, you name it. You guys are here and we are happy. Lots to share with you folks this morning. Lots of things we got to get down to. Is it Emoli McDonald from the UK? How we calling it right? Emoli McDonald joining us from the UK. Welcome folks. Quite a few things happening at our end. Welcome to a humble kitchen, folks. We share some information with you. Brenda Braffett, we see you there as well, Brenda. Brenda, we see you. I see we have MP Natasha Singh Lewis is joining us. Great to have MP Natasha Singh Lewis joining us this morning. We hope that she's well. We hope that all is good at her end. MP, we hope that wrong by your side, everything nice. MP Natasha Singh Lewis, we hope that wrong by her side, everything is nice time. You know, I wonder how she's doing today. I wonder how the MP is doing today. One wonders how the MP is doing this morning. Right? One wonders how the good MP is doing this morning. Folks, we trust that you are well. We got quite a few things to get through this morning. Do we have the MP on the line? the wonders of technology. You know, you can just reach out and touch people. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Duncan. How are you this morning?
We're trying at this end, ma'am. We're trying at this end. You see what's happening in this country, Natasha? You know, you see what's happening in this country? Folks, we have joining us via telephone, Member of Parliament, Natasha Singh Lewis, and Natasha is the Shadow Minister for Education. Natasha, how is it where you are?
This morning, I woke up to some very sad news about 4 a.m. In relation to the fire at the girls' hostel in Karasabay.
Mm-hmm.
We know that 17 girls were in the hostel, and we don't know the origin of the fire as yet. The dorm has been completely gutted. We see just concrete remains at the bottom, but the entire dorm has been gutted by fire. The girls are safe. That is very important.
Correct.
I was saying this morning that we have to now, in a matter of a couple of days, we have to relive the trauma of our girls being in a fire in our dorms. That is absolutely unacceptable.
Very well, very well. Let's cue it up better. Let's cue it up for our audience who might be now waking up to that very information as well. Overnight, they tell us there was indeed a dorm fire at the Karasabay Girls Hostel. As MP Natasha Singh Lewis said, reports are that fire started around 3 o'clock. Another dorm fire, folks. Believe it or not, the last one was on the 21st day of May last month. Fires at the PPP. Go right ahead, Natasha Singh Lewis.
I was saying to you and your audience, Sherrod, that while it's traumatic to have to relive the experience of that fire with teenage girls locked up in a dorm, we've learned last evening that there are scores of children who are currently displaced.
Correct.
At on the Susdike Highway because their homes were bulldozed by the government yesterday.
MP, we're going to come to that. We are going to come to that. So stay with me. We are going to come to that. That is part of our discussion this morning. Sorry for putting you on the spot. But investigations are still ongoing with the Madio fire. And on the heels of that, is it 2 weeks as yet? We have the Karasabai girls hostel fire. Now, we're thankful, as the MP said, Shadow Minister for Education, that there have not been any loss of lives. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. But I would love to hear some more. I'm looking forward to hearing some more reporting on what happened at Karasabai overnight, because one would have think you would have already had some serious interventions at the other dorms and check and make sure that this doesn't recur. Clearly, it didn't happen in the case of Karasabai.
Yeah. So Sharad, we know that, and I want to make this point very clear. The administration of our schools in the regions is the responsibility of the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Darmlal. There is a problem in the region when these assessments are being done. So we have non-academic standards that dictates what the schools should be, like what a step, what a classroom, what the building should be, lighting, ventilation, everything. We have those standards in place. Now, when the assessment is done, it's done by external agency. In case of education, it's done by the inspectorate unit or the MART unit that they call it now. But when the report is done, it is sent to the REO and the regional chairman and the Minister of Local Government and so on. And for reporting purpose, for information purpose, it goes to the Ministry of Education. It is the Minister of Local Government that has to take action. It is the regional education officer and the regional executive officer that has to take actions on these matters. Now, in the case of Madio, we know by now, it's public information, that the fire service would have done their assessment of the building. They gave a report. There was a long period of lapse because the report was given since last year. We had a budget in February. Nothing was done. Nothing was done.
Wow.
And we come to the National Assembly to tell the world that we care for the children, we care for the indigenous people. But this is how we're showing we care. We dismantle the homes. We don't pay attention to their environment. It's not conducive for them to learn or to live because you have to accommodate them in the dorms.
Correct.
But we care.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct and outcome.
How can you care? And I keep saying, because we care is just a slogan that they post across the media. It is not something that translates into action. Because when somebody cares, you feel love. You know that they're taking care of you, so they can tell you that they love you. They care for you. The government does not care. And we've seen that in the adult population, but it is now transcending into the young people, into our children.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
The safety of our children is no longer the government business. And I've said this morning, we have to pray for our children because the government doesn't care.
Correct in all counts, and that is the challenge that we have. There is so much happening in this country, but again, they just wanted to scoot by this thing as quickly as possible. There was an attempt to kind of draft this national tragedy as part of the campaign. They got some serious pushback from that, but they want to turn the page on this very quickly, and then Karasabai happens overnight. They says, hold on. All is not well. In the Social Services Committee, that I'm a part of a sectorial committee in social services. Yesterday we were asking them, let us get out to these dorms to see what is happening. An investigation on Mali should not preclude us from going to the other dorms, the other hostels, and seeing what is happening on the ground. And of course, they're going to try to move in a very pedestrian way, but then crossing by happens overnight. These people are again learning.
No, they're not. Sharad, we have a number of dorms that the region does not really pay attention to. Mm-hmm. We were just in Batika last Monday, and I was having conversations with the teachers there, and they said to me that the dorm in Batika doesn't have a house father, but you have students in the dorms. Now, should something happen in that dorms, who they're going to blame? They're going to blame the children that is left unprotected there at night. These are teenagers. You know what happened with teenagers.
Correct. Don't let's do that.
I mean, and that was Monday, and that they're reporting this about Batika. This is Region 7. And then the Sunday night was the Madia fire in Region 8. It is as if every region is affected.
Yeah.
Every region is affected. Every region that has a dorm school is left unattended by the region itself. They need resources. Could we blame that at this point in time?
Yeah.
Don't we have enough money to fix the issues in our dorm schools?
I'm eager to hear.
I am saying today, I don't think the issue is finance. It's bad management.
Correct.
It's bad leadership.
Correct. I'm eager to hear what is going to be the Kakameme story with this one here. What Lighter, Wire, and Sponge is responsible for the Karasabai girls' hostel fire. Thankfully, again, no losses, no lives were lost. But I'm interested to hear what's going to be the narrative on that one. MP St. Louis, I want you to... Go ahead.
I noticed the Minister of Fire has already left on a flight to go to Karasabai. Robson Ben and the PS for Education and the CEO for Education, the whole pack of incompetent officials has gone to Region 9 there this morning. So I guess they will come back and tell us something about the fire. As of now, the cause of fire is unknown.
Yeah. And you know what? Because they're getting such a bad time with this, and the PR and the Mario fire and other national issues, they're trying to buy the vote now. MP, they're trying to buy out the votes. I see they say $40,000 per child. Starting June 5th.
But now, Sharad, this time a long time. I'm going to say that to you. This time a long time. And I have been saying to people as we start, as we continue our local government campaign and going around talking to people, collect the money. It is taxpayers' money. Collect it. Understand that these people do not care for you. They are here to share out the money because they want your votes. Understand that. There is nothing else beyond that. They're not going to come back to your community after June 12th. You will not see them again until the next elections. That is what this is about. And people, they've got to be smarter at this technological age that we live in. Correct. We see them till, MP is exactly right. We will see them till the next election, till the next Boxer Cook-Up. Then we can see them again. Then we're going to see them again. So folks, we're following all that is happening on this new development overnight. 3 o'clock this morning, for those of you who are now joining us, the reports are there was a fire at the Karasabai, not Madia, Karasabai Girls Dormitory. I think this is in Region 9, if my geography is correct. And they're trying to get a handle on this. Look out for the fantastic story that follows. And now they want buy out the votes. This is starting June 5th, right? They're buying the votes now under the pretext of this
we care, right? We care how you vote. We care who you vote for. So you can buy it out now. $40,000. 40,000 in no proper running democratic country this close to the election, any government will be undertaking this kind of project because of the way the thing looks. But the monkey, they're never concerned about that.
But Sherrod, I want to make this point.
Go right ahead.
We have a lot of people who are accusing others of being a lot of things to the coalition. Mm-hmm. Let me explain in a nutshell what this is. The government of Ghana has impoverished our people to the extent that they can't afford to take care of their families' daily needs. Mm-hmm. And so now that they show up with this 10,000 and a box of cook-up and a t-shirt, and now I'm hearing 40,000 per vote, people are so impoverished that they want to buy milk for their children, so they will accept the money. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. That is the reality. The government has created this scenario that these people will want to live and they will take the money. You don't have to vote for them. You have to understand the circumstance in which you are living is caused by the government, and your vote will put them out. Mm-hmm. And we start with the local government, because local government elections is about the happenings, the running, the administration of your community.
Correct is right.
And that's where we need to have better living at a community level. The government has a responsibility to ensure the safety and security of our people in the communities. We cannot have more fires and you tell me that you want to put back the same officials there.
Yeah.
No.
Square pegs.
Vote them out.
Square pegs. Right? They want to buy you out. MP says vote them out. I tend to agree with her. You know, I find her arguments very appealing, very, very appealing. Vote them out. And you know, I'm happy that you went there, because I know by training, you do a lot of counseling. You understand what's happening at the family level, at the individual level, and all of that. You got your own NGO that looks at impact on our communities, impact on families in a very, very wholesome way. While we're talking about this fire, they told us just yesterday, MP and viewers out there, I see we have Glenford Gordon joining us, and Deborah Leach, and Petri, Veronica, and Susan Jacobs, and all the other folks, the hundreds of you joining us this morning. I see we got over 800 persons watching us live across social media. And yesterday was the gruesome discovery of the bodies of this mother and daughter at Providence. You know, I see the reports aren't coming out right and saying it, but it looks as though this was, you might deem it as a murder-suicide, because they said substances were found close by. They found a note as well. They found a note. I think they would say that's the suicide note. They found a note. Among other things, her husband, the landlady, and a neighbor missed them for some time and went inquiring her husband, who she was separated from. And then when they broke the door down to this house, the gruesome discovery. And they want to think that they were murdered somewhere. The lives were lost somewhere between the mid and the end of May. Again, a lot of folks getting a very hard time to cope in these times. You know, MP, this is part of your area of specialty. You know, you're finding a hard time to cope. What might you be doing? Because I know we talk with some folks who, because of this regime, because of where we are economically, socially, politically in this country, might be finding it hard to cope. What might you say to them?
Sherrod, the first thing we have to do is to admit that our families are in a bad state in this country. This oil-producing nation that has no plan, no national plan to enhance the lives of our people. There is no national plan.
Yeah.
There is nothing that speaks to encouraging families to stay together. Mm-hmm. Domestic Violence is on the rise. Trafficking of persons on the rise. Murder is on the rise. Where are they coming from? These are people we're talking about, and the victims are predominantly women and children. They are a part of the biggest part of the vulnerable population in this country.
Correct.
Tell me if you know what is the plan. We sit in the National Assembly. Did Vindhya Prasad ever bring a plan in the last 3 years to tell us how the women and children of this country are going to be better in another year, another 2 years? There is no plan for that. Every day a woman is being murdered by a spouse.
Yeah.
Every day. The statistic says 1 in every 3 is being murdered. Do we have a plan to address that? Can we say that the mother and the child who died, who was discovered dead, that they went through the system, they were given help, but we couldn't help them anymore? No. What system are you talking about? MP Duncan, let me tell you something. I have done a lot of work in Linden. I'm telling you, I haven't gone outside of Linden in Region 10. There is no psychosocial support for our people in Linden. None. A psychiatrist from Georgetown Public Hospital goes to the Linden Hospital once per month and has a long line of more than 40-something persons to see. Mostly women and children. And when they need psychosocial help, the referral has to be at Georgetown Public Hospital because there is no psychologist or no trained worker in the region to do the work. So the people of Linden got to spend their transportation and meals to come down to Georgetown Public Hospital, spend the whole day there just to see the psychologist to attend to their issues. Is that how you care for people? Is that how we care for Guyanese? And I'm just using Linden because it is overwhelming at this point. And the police has a role to play in all of this. There is absolutely no infrastructure in Linden, and I say this with no apologies. There is no infrastructure in Linden to deal with these kinds of issues. There is a department with 2 or 3 staff members for human services. What do they do?
Again,
they do not offer counseling services there. It's strictly administration. There is no technical support. And you want to tell me that you love the people of Linden? And I can go across this country where I've been to tell you of the different situations. It is overwhelming. There is no plan for psychosocial support of our people. We've just come out pandemic where families lost more. Who is looking after their mental health?
Correct. MP.
We do not.
MP,
you know, in a couple of days, we will get the report for Madhya. You see how the adults in Madhya, in Maikobi, they're falling apart and nobody cares because they lost their loved one, their child, their children.
Government said, we care, take 40,000 and vote for we. We care. MP, the 38-year-old mother. Go ahead. MP, the 38-year-old mother who lost her life, viewers, is Petros Ross Lachman. That's the name that we were given. Petros Ross Lachman, and her 13-year-old daughter was Gabrielle Ross. And I'm struggling to think that if this is a suicide here, murder-suicide perhaps is how they're going to put this, why Petros didn't feel there was an agency she could reach out to if she was having dark thoughts, if she was having suicidal thoughts. You know, why did she feel that these challenges, whatever they were in her life, were so overwhelming that this was the only way out? And this is where government has an opportunity, has a responsibility to create the policies, that this don't happen. And we, in this part of the hemisphere, got one of the highest suicide rates in the world. So this is not today, right? And this government, 3 years in, 23 before, in its last iteration of governance, had a tremendous opportunity, right? But are we better? Are you better 3 years after than you were 3 years ago? Are you better off? You know, those are questions that people got to ask themselves. But again, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the friends, family, and the loved ones, the community. I'm certain who knew Petros Ross, Lachman, and her daughter Gabrielle, and loved them. Our thoughts and our prayer, and we are going to try to get you guys as much information as we can on this matter as we move forward at this end. In addition to that, the MP who's with us this morning, MP Natasha Singh Lewis, and I just barged in her time this morning. MP, thank you so much. But the other issue I want to raise, and you kind of preempted it early on, is what is going on at Hillfoot on the Linden-Susdyke Highway, that community there. We heard a number of homes are being broken down. And now we've seen this so much on this administration. It really started at Success, I think, in 2020. The bulldozing of those homes, that has gone unabated. That has continued up until this day, you know. And while that was happening at Conservancy Dam over in Region 3, squatters live close to the Conservancy Dam. Very, very close. That's very dangerous, right? Government went in there, regularized them, give them light, give them water. You know, in this one Guyana, we saw this as well as at Amelia's Ward at the back, where persons were occupying some of those lands, just want to shelter over their heads. We saw this happen again at Muckup, Caneview Muckup, and elsewhere, this very heavy-handed way. And just the other day, in a press conference, Bar Jagdeo said, we don't have a heavy hand where it concerns the land. We don't bulldoze people off the land. Lies, 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 and more lies. This morning, very early this morning, we carried it on our page. Travis Chase from AHEP TV Nightly News. Travis Chase was out there in Susdyke and spoke to some of the folks about their concerns, some of the residents there at Hillfoot on the Linden-Susdyke Highway. I want to share some of that footage with you, and then we're going to engage MP Natasha Singh Lewis, who's with us, on her own thinking of what's happening here and how should the people be thinking and how they should be reacting as well, the folks at Hillfoot. Look at some of what we saw this morning, thanks to, again, journalist Travis Chase.
Sir. Alex Chatterpole. Where did you apply for the land?
Housing and Lands and
Lands and Survey. And how long have you been living at Hillfoot?
We live here since with my wife, she was like 16 and less.
All right. 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or less?
Yeah.
Or less?
And we was young.
Okay. Okay.
I come to school.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Uncle.
If you come and watch our island and things, throw away on the side there, everything modern.
All right.
This man is trying to pick up a pack up and clean up now.
Yeah. I'm sorry you have to go through this, Mr. Chatterpole, but what do you plan to do next?
Me, you know, what me to do is knock up a thing right here.
Right.
And
So you have to,
one.
one child, right?
What do you plan to do?
I plan to knock back a thing right here until I get help from the government or Almin himself who come and blog down this thing, who will bring a transport or a plan or a court order to give nobody a warning to show people well that he own this place and this is the boundary. Never do though.
The storage is coming back on Saturday.
Yeah,
What
they
you gonna
say.
do? What you gonna do if you do that?
What me go do? Everybody else can do nothing. Like when the man come with armed police who harass them people.
Live wrongs were filed here yesterday?
Yes. At the girl.
Right.
Them hold on the big man over them beating. Plus my sister so she tell you last night.
Thank you.
Okay, naman dahil dito naman check it focus and sync it using the minimum. We check it to get updated.
That's fine.
We had a big barrel of water right there. Don't show water in this place.
Hey.
Is yours the man broke down? We carry documents by
When we carry documents by the place, they said they have
Shut a bit.
no idea about these documents with this man saying thing.
Let me
This
see
is
this.
some of the names when he take them and carry the court to still living on the land, which is more than 12 people there on the land living. What Lawrence Almin and Ashley Ali. This is wife claim how that got structures. Local part that schools like see, watch. This is school crew sandpit. We didn't know we were part of this man that says
Which stamp is this? I'm trying to make out this stamp.
we ain't even got Latino inside of here. We don't
So
have
clear.
a Latino mini. We never had a Latino mini. He go and claim and say how we black X, black Y, and that kind of thing.
Let me see this, please.
This is what he issued to you guys?
Yes. He come around, people come around and say there is housing, coming to take people name for give we house. Next thing you know, enough people from housing, he pay people to come and collect we name. I put on my name because I think in his housing, yeah, start me what.
Right.
Hey.
Attorney here?
I'm not seeing the.
Jelly Kisoon.
Yeah, I'm looking at the names. It's good. So you can keep all these. Let me see this.
This is piece of the transport we bring claiming saying how we land on in a ditch.
And this is what I want to see. This is a copy of it.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Look, this was the date we bring to Kyrie to court. The 8th of February. See, when he said we got put in password COVID-19 thing, we are watching. When we go at the court, he never show up at the court there. Look, he says Zoom meeting, you see? Password code 12 and them things.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead.
You know? So what else should bring it to you?
Yeah.
Sabi si Kwa, kung sige si Pili Gili.
Yeah, this is.
Wala nga sa step.
Yeah, fruit trees. You just joined us. You're coming to you live from Hillfoot on the Linden Susdike Highway. Oh, this is something else. Somebody sleeping in here? This could collapse.
Folks, welcome back. There you have it. That's some of what went down on the Linden Susdike Highway at Hillfoot just this morning. So you got the Karasabay fire, you got the forceful eviction of those folks from Hillfoot, from their properties by the government, among other things that are happening nationally. MP Natasha Singh Lewis is still with us. MP, we've seen this movie before, too many times.
Too many times. I believe the last one we've seen is Mocha Caneview in Mocha Arcadia.
Correct.
We saw how brutally they displaced those people. They bulldozed their properties. You know, those families that the government would like to tell you that they took care of them. Some of them are still waiting. Some of them are still waiting to have their issues resolved. Now they've gone on. You have said yourself that the success matter It's like an unending confrontation with government about land. Now we're seeing every time this kind of bulldozing of homes, you're breaking up families, and you expect a lawful society when you cannot provide safety and security for your people. You are destabilizing the family by doing that. As an oil-producing nation, where we notice of recent that we have been given coverage almost in all parts of the world.
For the wrong reason too.
Because you do not take care of their best resource, that
Correct.
is your people.
Correct.
You're not taking care of that. You don't care for them. And so you bulldoze their homes, you break up their families, you traumatize the children, and you care. How can you care for people by doing those things? It is going to take a long time now for those families to get back together, get a home, put their children back in school, and return to normalcy.
Yeah.
It takes a very long time and a lot of effort to do that. I am not sure at this point in time what is the government game plan in doing this, in traumatizing our people like this.
Yeah. The kind of wickedness.
From day one, they had a plan to instill fear in the public servants. But they have gone outside now. They've gone to the communities. They're destabilizing the families. They're impoverishing our people. Where do we draw the line? When does this stop?
Yeah.
It is unbecoming at this point in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when, Sharon, an important part of this is that you can push people, but when their backs against the wall, they're going to retaliate. And of course, when people retaliate, they bring out the guns.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that.
Society.
Because that is what one of the men said this morning who spoke with journalist Travis Chase. He said, Travis, I feel so. And Travis was saying, you don't kill nobody. Big uncle, don't kill nobody. So indeed, people are being pushed. People feel as though they don't have a way out. And the back's against the wall.
But to what end?
Yeah.
Every time they displace people, it is the greed for land. It is the greed for property. They displace the people who have been occupying the land for and their favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. Friends, family, and favorites indeed. Friends, family, and favorites. And that's how this government conducts its affairs. Once those things are taken care of, everybody else can haul the tail. In my Kemraj voice.
But Sharon, they don't, those people at Hillfoot, they don't have representation, and we have to go. I am particularly concerned about the children with little or no resources to the opposition. We still have to go, and we have to ensure that those children are okay, and they can have a safe place to sleep, a comfortable place to sleep and to dwell, and to get back to school. It is June. This is the first day of June. They're going to be writing exams, their end of year exams in a couple of weeks. When you displace them now, what state of mind can they go to school with?
Yeah.
Where do they get food to eat to go to school?
That's the reality.
It is that bad. It is that bad.
Yeah. That is the reality, unfortunately. That is the reality. MP St. Louis, I know you got a busy day ahead of you. I really want to thank you for showing up, answering your phone on such short notice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Duncan. Have a good morning, you and your followers. I want to encourage you. Credible Source is the place where you will get credible information from all of us. Stay tuned, support the cause, and I'll see you guys at Hillfoot later today. I'm going there. I have to go and see what's wrong and what we can do to help those families and the children in particular.
Excellent.
Have a good day, MP Duncan.
Excellent. You have a great day as well. Thanks for coming too. All right, there you have it, folks. There you have it from MP Natasha Singh Lewis, who is the Shadow Minister of Education, heading on the ground at Hillfoot herself. And we're going to try to get you some more comments from the folks there on the ground at Hillfoot. Folks, we trust that you're well. Before we wrap up this morning, we want to let you guys know some of the things that we are tracking internationally, some of the things we are tracking in the region, and a couple of the issues, Sabrina Blue, a couple of the issues that we're tracking locally as well. I see we got Emily McDonald, is it Emily, Emoli McDonald, Binka Peters, good to see you as well, and Gladys Prasad. See Tommy Gibbs is there. Marilyn Larimer is here as well. I see Don Sullivan and Dan Gravesandi is here. Edward Brooms and Rhonda Gordon, all the other folks like Tamara Hayes who've joined us. Look at a couple of the other issues very quickly that we're tracking. You know, people are now calling for Putin to go to the fed up. You see, it's only when they show you toe, you know, or start pinching, then you know. Remember we told you that drone attack on Moscow? Well, people now feel the thing coming on their doorstep, the Russians. Now they're saying that Putin got to go. Why are we gonna live like this? You know? Big fighting for how much land you could get as a country, man. Oh God. And the same thing applies here. This country got a small population, but land like that, why people got to be, you know, be treated in this manner for land? Why? Why is that? You know, some of them got to go as well. Some of them got to go as well. And that is why Petri, Veronica, and Julia Lewis, you heard Natasha Singh Lewis, MP, saying that, vote them out. Come June 12th, I go in and I put in my X next to APNU. I'm a citizen of this country. I have a constitutional right to vote in local, regional, and general elections. And I go in and put my X next to APNU. You hear me? And if you want a photograph, I'll give you a photograph too. If that's what you want. All right? They've been trying to get the Ukraine into NATO, the alliance of nations there in Europe. Germany told us they're not going to have it just as yet, especially during this period of armed conflict. You know, you're going to pick a struggle, you know. You're going to pick a struggle. All this dancing around these major issues, I fed up all of y'all. Fed up all of them. You know, the amount of money this war has consumed thus far, a year plus, we could solve world hunger and many other the maladies we face as a humanity. And that's the challenge you got. Just like this administration, if you ask for HIMAC to clean your drains, they ain't got none. A police vehicle to watch over your community, they ain't got none. But when it comes to inflicting pain, they could send 10 trucks, 5 HIMACs, and 100 policemen to torment the citizenry. Right? That's what they're good for. That is what they're good for. They're telling us William and Kate made a surprise visit to Jordan. They're there for the Crown Prince wedding there in Jordan. Well, I'm happy for them. That's some of the information we're receiving on that front. I'm happy for them. I don't know, but I like to root for the underdogs. It's just in my nature. Right? I'm happy for the Duke and I'm happy for the Prince and, you know, his wife. I'm happy for them. Be happy for them. William and Kate, be happy for them. Still pulling for Meghan and Harry. William and Kate, Meghan and Harry. Pulling for the underdogs. I hope they had a good time. You know, the dance-up and thing. Kim Jong-un, they say may be suffering from insomnia. Which of us aren't? I slept about one this morning. Who vex? Insomnia and worsening alcohol dependency. You think he think with alcohol. till you got some we brown rum, you know that with alcohol. So we give still you got some of our boys, they know not much no alcohol. Damn it. Right? Insomnia. But resign then. Democratize the country, bring in people who could help you lift the thing up. You want everything for yourself. Right? But wicked one did send no rest for them. Worsening dependence in alcohol. Yeah. Regionally, folks, some of the things we're following. This is the U.S. State Department. You know, we're in that period of the Caribbean American Heritage Month. And officials from the department open up Heritage Month there in the U.S. They're part and parcel of that event that kicked off Heritage Month. And we all over, you know. We all over. And you know, folks are arguing that more Guyanese reside in the diaspora than actually reside in this country. Those are some of the arguments. More Guyanese are in the diaspora. Definitely, places like Queens and Brooklyn, more Guyanese take over. And all the reason to celebrate. Right? Over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a pastor said it wasn't he. He said it wasn't he. Vincentian pastors issued a statement saying it wasn't he. This is Pastor Kelleron Harry. It was not him. He wasn't the cleric in a recent newspaper article which alleged that this pastor was engaged in an unlawful sex act, allegedly with a Vincentian student pursuing studies at a university. Right? People were pointing fingers and saying, it's Harry. Is Harry do it? Harry says, not he. He said it's not him. You see, when pastors are embroiled in controversies like this, it tells you it's right there, no? It tells you where you are. And also in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this youth leader, Vakisha John, she said done 6 months in. She got the fortitude 6 months in. She says she's finished. And she's with the Democratic, the Young Democrats there. I'm trying to get the name of the political party. It's slipping me as we speak, but it's the opposition party there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm gonna have it for you in a second. I don't know why it's absent from the notes, but Vakisha says I done. Right? The opposition is a New Democratic Party headed by leader of the opposition, Godwin Friday, who accepted her resignation. People are sticking around long now, you know. People not sticking around long now at all. And as we wrap up, folks, some of the stuff happening in the 592. So, Vakisha quit. Vakisha said, I done, I gone. Vakisha quit. Right. Leslie, Diane, Gail Ali Cook, great to have all of you on the live. And the 592, some of the things we're following, folks. EPA finally, and not because they want to, because of the court order, that case handed down by Justice Sandal Kisul, get the unlimited parent company guarantee. They've now instructed Exxon, because I think they're outside of that window that the judge had given them. So they want to show as if they're doing something, but they're really doing nothing. Instructing Exxon to get the unlimited parent company guarantee coverage. Right? Again, they really want. They want nice time. They want to protect ExxonMobil. Right? But they don't want to be seen as being disrespectful to the judgment of the court that the Court of Appeal did not put a stay on. So they're telling Exxon now, shape up. Right? I tell you again, Jack, they don't really want to do this. They don't really want to go in this direction. Right? But they got to try and save some face in some way. Right? They got to try and save some face. And that's what's happening here. That's precisely what's happening here. As we said early on, they can buy out the votes now. Right? As we said earlier on, that's what's going down here. They can try to buy out the votes. And if you're weak, you can buy out 10,000 in a box of cook-up. And starting June 5th, they're upping the ante 40,000. And when you go in that booth, you gotta take out a photograph of where you put your X. Ronda Gordon, 40,000 and a box of cook-up. Keith Evans, this is buying the vote. And we spoke to you folks right here in this morning program and showed you a few mornings back how they were doing it. Suddenly they run out, they're doing roads in New Amsterdam. They're doing roads here and no quality roads. No quality roads whatsoever. Buying the vote. Buying it. Gail and Keith, that's what they're doing. Buying the votes. And then in this mix-up cook-up government, there's no order. The disorderly, drunk and disorderly. And we were stunned when we saw this headline. Minister McCoy unveiled developmental plans for Suicide Linden Highway. You mean communications-wise? Because he is the minister within the office of the Prime Minister, and he has responsibility for communications, national communication, I think. So when we saw McCoy unveiling developmental plans, you know you're in trouble as a country. You know you're in trouble as a country. We call him Crowell them there. We call him Crowell with Susan Rodriguez. I see Susan in a couple of days. Well, I hope she's all right. We hope Susan is okay. And see Susan in a couple of days well. Right? What kind of one subject business is this? Unveils developmental plans. Yeah, that's what the headline said. We all try with that. It's beer mixed up, madness, cook-up story. 5,000 and a box of cook-up. That's the developmental plan. Okay? Give us your vote, then we got no time with you. Folks, it's June 12th. It's the date. We're 11 days off. We're coming down, drawing closer. We are 11 days off. Good folks. 11 days off. And those are some of the things that we're covering this morning at our end. Those are some of the things we're covering this morning at our end. Sheila Boyd Child, Maureen Williams, and all the other folks. Those are just a couple of the issues we thought should interest you today. Folks, it's the 1st of June. It's our birth month. You know, we don't make any secret of it. Our program here for the last 2, now going on 3 years. November is going to make 3 years since we've been broadcasting. 3 years. And these programs have been totally funded by you. Right? I did it until I could do it no longer for about the first 8 to 9 months of the program. And then I come back into you. Right? And every month, you know, you get a little more in the red. I won't come out the red. Come into green and yellow. Come to green and yellow. Folks, and that's why all month we're going to be encouraging you guys to partner with us. You know? Right? I know lots of you, every year, thousands of people wish me happy birthday. Right? Then I can pay the bill. You know, so I'm going to be fundraising all month so that we can keep on air. Folks, the people at the Integrity Commission, they can be shocked. Right? Men own big house and land, big fancy car, you know. I live a very simple and frugal life. And it is my joy and my privilege to work in your interest, bringing you all credible, valid information. So I know they probably think with the amount of people who watch us, how much? You got millions in US in a bank account somewhere in the States. Folks, that's why we're calling on you, and we're going to be calling on you all month. So y'all get tired of hearing me beg, but I do it all month, right up until my birthday. And I want to tell you all this. Don't believe, that you say, man, I ain't got much. We only got $1,000 or what have you. Right? If that's a contribution, we'd happily accept. When some folks give us a little fine change to keep us going, and they tell us sometimes, look, this is part of my pension, but we got to make sure, right? I don't buy papers no more. People tell us that we don't buy papers no more. Here is where we come and get the news and information, what is happening. We're gonna accept with gratitude. And it empowers us, more than just beyond staying on air. That people would go to some extremes to help us out, to keep moving forward. It really touches us. It really touches us. Folks call and say, I can work an extra shift for y'all to keep y'all on here. I give y'all the whole shift money. I can work an extra shift this month. Right? Them things is fuel to get you up out of bed every morning and keep moving forward. Right? This is not a big lucrative business we're running here. Right? And what you see 3 years on is what you get. I try to be me. I try to be my authentic self. Right? And when you get a certain age, at my age, I understand. You is not for everybody. You are an acquired taste. We is not for everybody. So we don't want necessarily, if you come and you find some value in what we do here, bless God. If you don't and you move on, God bless you same way. God bless you same way. Right? We understand that. He is not for everybody. But for the few of you who are here and who can help us to keep moving forward, do so. I can be begging whole month. Ayabo and Gwyneth and Marcio Fordyce, Diane Graves and the folks like Diane help us all the time. Thanks, Diane. Help us all the time. Tessa and all the other folks are joining us. Jillian Williams, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. Ronaldo, Cassius, Tessalene Eastman, Samoa Williams. Guys, partner with us if you can. This month is going to help us afar. I won't come on the red. I fed up red. I don't like red. How much red clothes I got? I don't wear. No. I ain't like red. Unless it's Valentine's or something like that. I ain't like red. Right? So we want to keep moving forward. Help us to do that, folks. Partner with us. And for those of you who might be new to our program and say, well, this fella here don't even tell me how to partner. I don't know if he expect me the money to just drop from heaven. Here's how you can. All of these platforms, and we can add some more. It's for your convenience. It's for your convenience. We got Cash App and Zelle. And, somebody said, I want people to see how much I give in, on YouTube, because it goes up there and everybody can see it. It's a very transparent system there on YouTube. You got Cash App and Zelle and PayPal. That's the email address for both Zelle and PayPal. And then you got MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union. We're going to add some more as we proceed. We're heading on 3 years, folks. We're heading on 3 years, and we're just about an hour into our broadcast this morning. And so we're going to leave it here. Thanks for joining us. Keep your boy up the streets. I will make it far. I can just embarrass myself. I'm not going to make it far, folks. I'm not going to make it far. It's been my privilege being here with you beautiful, wonderful folks this morning. I shared it live as we call the program. Smash that emoji button as well, good folks. That's going to do it for our time. Folks, if we don't make the podcast today, it's only because we're on the ground. Right? If we miss the podcast today, I know there's going to be a press conference coming out of the People's National Congress reform, which also is going to impact on our programming, because even if we can make the podcast, if the press conference goes long, we don't like to have competing programs running on our pages, so we're going to give way to the press conference. But if we don't make it, chances are we're going to be on the ground pursuing the truth and sharing it with you guys later on in the day. If we don't make the podcast, I'm just giving you that caveat there. Just giving you that. But again, good to see each and every one of you from the various places you're joining us from. That's going to do it for us this morning. Stay safe. Sheila Boy Child, Bellamona, Susan Jacobs, Debbie Collins, Everett Jr., Edward Broom, Seymour George, and all the other folks joining us on Facebook, on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all the other places this morning. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.